Yeah. I do this for the Jude. You know I do this for the Jude.
I'm here with Senior Vice President of Experiential at ALSAC, Chris Boysen, to talk about the announcement today of the St Jude Tip-Off Classic. And Chris, I just have to ask you, how has this been? How has the process been? We take a few things serious here in Memphis.
Right.
One is defeating childhood cancer here with St Jude.
That's right.
And the other basketball.
Right.
These all come together in this great event. What was the process to get here like?
You know, this is something that our CEO, Rick Shadyac, and I have been talking about really his entire tenure. He's been here about 15 years. We've wanted to do something with the Tigers, with basketball here in town. And I guess last year it really started coming together. I was introduced to Garrett Kelly, who's one of the former staff members there on Penny's staff, and he got me in front of the right people there before one of the games. And within 15 minutes, I had talked to Bill Hardgrave, I'd talked to Laird Veach, and a couple of the boosters, and everybody loved the idea. Mm-hmm. At that point, and Penny had fully endorsed it, and we had a green light from the University of Memphis side, and so then we started talking to our friends at FedEx Forum and the Grizzlies. Dwight Johnson and Zach Sloman over there have been fantastic. They are basically donating the facility. That made that part easy. And then we got connected with, her name's Lee Miller Tooley, and she's with Complete Sports Management. She does the Battle for Atlantis every year, among other things. And she's very connected in college sports and college hoops. And she's the one that we started talking to about this event and really help put the teams together. Mm-hmm. For us. We felt it would be, the original concept was to do 2 games here, and with the evolution here of women's basketball, it's come pretty quickly, and the way that's rising in popularity, we wanted to include the Lady Tigers, and other than that, we got about the best we could get in South Carolina.
There's no doubt about it.
She connected us to North Carolina, and at that point, it's been an interesting process of going through all the contracts, and then we started recruiting ESPN to help us, and that brought us to this point.
Yep. So I think a big part of this conversation needs to be the why. Why? What was the driving force to getting St Jude, ALSAC involved with college basketball?
Our why is always pretty simple. It's the patients and families at St Jude Children's Research Hospital. Our why is helping ensure that no family ever receives a bill from St Jude, not for treatment, travel, housing, or food. We want our families to be able to focus on their child and helping their child live. That's our bottom line why. And after that, we're always looking to do things to amplify our mission, looking for different audiences to get in front of. We're looking for different ways to talk about St. Jude, and this fit the bill on a number of fronts for us. And so as we look at the audience that we're able to get in front of through this, it takes us into a slightly different demographic than our donor base. We have a primarily female donor base, and this obviously with college basketball, about 70% of viewers on ESPN of men's college basketball are male. Mm-hmm. And so we like that. 62% of viewers of women's college basketball are male. It's a slightly younger demographic for us. So it just takes us in a little bit different direction. And we always like that. I think the other thing that's really important here is the light that it's going to shine on the city.
Yeah.
We do that through the FedEx St. Jude Championship. We do that through the St. Jude Memphis Marathon, and we want to do that here with this event. We want it to be good for the city and also good for St. Jude.
Yep. Now, how much pride do you guys take in being able to go make this happen? Because I know it was absolutely a process. We already talked about that off the top, but getting 2 of the bluest blue bloods in town I mean, this is what this city calls for. This is what this city wants to have in town, something like this, an event like this. How much pride do you take in making that happen for the people of Memphis?
Well, look, I think it's part of our civic duty to be able to do things like this. I think we have the power of the brand of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. You know, we're a worldwide charity. We need that stage. We have that microphone, and we want to use it. We want to use it to help the city. We want to use it to help cancer patients around the world. You know, it's not just the kids that come into Memphis that we're trying to impact here at St. Jude. There are 400,000 children around the globe each year that get cancer. And in the United States, that survival rate's about 80%, okay? That's still not good enough. That means 1 out of 5 kids won't survive their cancer. Outside the United States, in low and middle income countries, it's reversed. That survival rate's about 20%.
Right.
So there's a big stage out there that we want to take this message to, so that we can impact as many of those 400,000 kids each year that get cancer as we can.
Now, October 15th, all the festivities are going to get going around 6 p.m. What type of plans are going to surround the games themselves?
So, as you said, 6 p.m. tip-off. It'll be the men's game at that point against North Carolina. We're going to have, you know, I think we wouldn't be ALSAC and St. Jude if we didn't try to raise some money.
Of course.
Through this. You know, all ticket sales, proceeds from that are going to go to St. Jude. Sponsorship money is going to go to St. Jude, and then we're going to try to raise some money in arena that night. That's something that we're doing on a broader scale in venues across the country now, and we think there's an opportunity there in venue during the game. We're going to make it fun. You know, we're working with the Grizzlies to with their in-game broadcast team and with their logistics team to, you know, we want it to feel festive, but at the same time, we are hoping to raise some funds.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Bottom line, right?
That's what you do over here at ALSAC. Now, when it comes to future plans for this event, what does that look like?
You know, the goal from the beginning has been to do something in season. We wouldn't be St. Jude if we didn't think big, and the thought here would be, you know, we look at events like the Maui Invitational and the Battle for Atlantis, and we think there's an opportunity to do something similar here, and you know, that's been the goal and the vision from the beginning. When we started this planning back in November and December, schedules were largely already set. These teams commit to these events years in advance. So that may take a little bit of a ramp-up phase, but that's what we want to get to. We want to get to more of a multi-team event here, again, in Memphis.
So one of the things that does happen with a lot of sports teams that come in town, and we'll see what happens here. I'd imagine you'll have some visits here from South Carolina, North Carolina, and Memphis. But they get in front of the patients here at St. Jude. What are some of the stories that you hear about how much that helps in the moment, having that type of person in front of those patients, helping lift up their spirit?
Yeah, you know, and I'll just give an example of what happened last year as we started having these conversations. Penny brought the team over, and we had a great visit, and part of that visit was an interaction with some of our former patients. And I think what that does, it provides instant perspective, you know, to these kids who are worried about nothing but basketball. And then to have that juxtaposed with these kids who are fighting for their lives, I think it just provides a different view of what's going on in the world for some of these patients and families. And what we were able to do at that visit was we had Nick London, who is the son of Tiger alum Paris. He's a former patient at St. Jude. Nick was an up-and-coming basketball prodigy and was struck down by cancer. Nick was able to get in front of these guys as one of their peers to share with them his story and how his perspective shifted and how suddenly he was just fighting for his life. And I think it made a big impact on the players. You could feel that energy in the room, and you could have heard a pin drop,
right,
as Nick was talking about his story. So that's a little bit of what we try to convey here. And so when this event happens on the day before, so on October 14th, which is a Monday, we're going to have the South Carolina women's team and staff and the North Carolina men's team and their staff are going to be here. They're going to tour. We're going to give them this St. Jude experience and give them that perspective of why they're here. We're going to talk to them about our why, and hopefully it becomes their why.
Yeah. Are they getting in town the night before and then coming?
I believe at this point they're flying in that morning,
okay.
Monday morning, and then we're going to have the tour, and then we're doing a dinner at the Peabody, a team dinner for all the teams. The Tigers are going to come and tour at some point in the next couple weeks. So then all the teams and staff will be there for a dinner Monday night, and then Tuesday, will be game day, and they'll do their walkthroughs and shoot arounds, and then it'll be game time.
Mm-hmm. Now, ticket sales, just sort of enlighten me on what that looks like, pre-sale and everything else.
Yeah, we're going to have a pre-sale starting tomorrow for the University of Memphis season ticket holders. We want to give them the opportunity to jump on this, and then general admission goes on sale on Saturday at 10 a.m. on Ticketmaster.
Yep. How about it now? One bonus thing, because I was told you're an alum of the University of Memphis, so we have to talk about this really quick.
I am.
Florida State versus Memphis
That's
this
right.
weekend.
That's
How are
right.
you feeling, Chris? How are you feeling about that game?
I feel like Mike Norvell's going to be sad that he left.
Yeah, like
sometimes you don't know what you got until it's gone. And
the grass ain't always greener,
ain't
as
always
they say.
greener. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I appreciate it. Great event, October 15th. You're going to have the St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. You're going to have the men playing North Carolina, the women playing South Carolina. It was all set up by the great people here at St. Jude and ALSAC.
I do this for the Jude. For real? I have to fight this